Welcome to John's Random Reviews. Hi, welcome back to John's Random Reviews. We've got a bit of a treat today and it's a bit sort of left field. It's not the kind of tool I normally review. So today we've got, it's only just come out recently actually, in the last couple of months. It's the MAKITA brand new 18 volt sander. So we've got three questions to ask mainly. What the fuck is it? What the fuck does it do? And who the fuck uses it? So what we're going to do is going to get this out of the box in a minute, and come on, let's get involved. Okay. Okay, instructions. I've actually read them. Can you believe it? Because I'm unfamiliar with this type of tool. I've actually read the fucking instructions, so I could give you the best review I can. So let's get it out of the box. There's the body. I'll go into what that is. That's a really important bit, actually. And both of these bits are, so. So obviously this is an orbital sander. So that's number one. Number two, that's number one question asked. Number two, obviously it's for sanding. You put sanding sheets on there and you can sand wood. Now number three is who uses, well I'll tell you. I don't use this, as you know, I'm a plumber, but wood fuckers use these. So this is a main tool, one of the main tools. Well, wood fuckers use like like chop saws and all sorts of shit like that. But they also use sanders. Wood fuckers use sanders. Now, if you're going to be dead posh, wood fuckers are sometimes known as joiners. Sometimes if you're a dead posh wood fucker, you can be called a joiner. And get this. If you get a joiner and he makes a bit of a box out of MDF, fucking hell, next thing is he says he's a cabinet maker. Anyway, fucking that's by the by. I've got a friend who's I'm gonna look. It says on here. It says bent steel joiner. So I'm gonna, for the sake of argument, I'm gonna call him a joiner because he's lent me this and it's brand new. He's never actually used it. So he sent me a message saying he bought it. And I said, can I review it for my channel because it's just come out. So, the basics are, it's the brand new, I'll put in new, 18 volt MAKITA orbital sander. It takes the 18 volt LXT batteries. So, we're going to get one of them put on in a minute. And first thing of note, it is, for me, we're not doing anything about it. It looks like a good bit of kit. Generally, I've seen quite a lot of the new MAKITA stuff and it's really well made. Really light actually, really light. So if you come in a little bit, we'll go into all the details of it. Obviously this is the pad where you put the sandpaper on. We're going to do that in a minute. It's got an extract. Now that can either go onto a bag, so it can push onto a bag, but it can also be linked to a vacuum, and at the back you can put a Bluetooth chip in it. And what that means is, if you've got a chip in here and you've got a special vacuum that links to this, as soon as you turn it on, it turns the vacuum on. So you can have a dust-free job. Well, that's amazing. Next thing we're talking about is the pricing. These go for about, I think I've seen them online, cheapest, about 145 quid. Whether you think that's a lot of money, I don't know. I don't think that's bad. But if you wanted to get the chip to put in it, the chip doesn't come with it. They're about £40 for the chip. So it's also got a handle on the front, which you can take off. All you have to do is turn that 90 degrees and you can take that off. That means if you've got a corner, you can sand right into a corner. But if you're not, it's good to have your hand on it. Like so. Put that back on. So the battery just slides on like that, connects on like that, and it's on. But what also comes with it is this strange thing. This is a battery cover. So this goes on like that, just pushes on. That goes on, you see that clips on like that. And then when you push this on, if you want to run it without the handle, you can hold on to that like that. So that's pretty cool. And it kind of protects the battery a little bit. And I think it actually helps with a little bit of vibration. It kind of like dampens the vibration if you're holding your hand on the top there. But anyway, we'll leave the battery on and we'll get it turned on. So on the thing, that's the off button. And that is the number 3, the top 3. And that's number 2. And that's number 1. And then turn it off. So on maximum, on number 3, it's 12,000 RPM. And then the middle speed is 8,000 RPM. And the lower speed is 4,000 RPM. A little story about joinery, or woodfuckery as you say. But imagine you're 16, you've just left school and you're thinking, not many qualifications here. I'm not clever enough to be a plumber. They're really clever. Not even clever enough to be a sparky. They're quite clever. What the fuck am I going to do with my life? Anyway, next thing is you're fucking wandering around the street and say the streets aimlessly as you do. Do you know what I mean? With a can of beer in your hand, and you're just kicking the fuck out of some fence panels. And then you have like a light bulb moment. You think, fucking hell, wood? I've just kicked the fuck out of a wooden panel. I wonder if I could involve wood in a job. So next thing is you decide you're going to be a bloody wood fucker. Anyway, you get yourself a saw and you're away. You're not a proper tradie, but nevertheless, you can make a living. I respect that. Everyone's got to make a living. So anyway, enough of my fucking little stories. Let's see if we can get a sheet of paper on it. So what comes in the box? I don't know whether my friend Ben has actually taken one of them out, but that is the sanding sheet that comes with it, a 120 grit. I've got like an 80 grit. This is what most joiners will do. They'll get a bit of sandpaper on a roll like this, and they'll cut a bit off the same size as this. And then what you do is you unclip it there. It's got a really, really strong positive clip on there. And then when you unclip it there, this little plate comes forward. So then what you do is you just push it in there, make sure it's central, and then put that back on, put that on here. And then you make it as tight as you can. And on the other end, you do the same again. Let's unclip that, and then you push that up there, and you push the sandpaper in the little groove. And then you get that as tight as you can, and then locate, hang on a minute, that back in there like that. So that's nice and tight. And then, this is the good bit, what comes with the kit is this strange contraption. And what it is, it makes holes in the sandpaper to copy this. And these holes are part of the extract system. So when you have a vacuum onto it, you can actually get rid of a lot of the sawdust. So what you do, you put it on there, it's got the two edges like that, and then you push, and then it spikes the sandpaper. And then there you go. You can see it's got 8 holes. And then when you're sanding the actual, probably not all of the sawdust, but quite a lot of it will get sucked through these holes and out through the extract. So this is the good little feature that comes with it, because I reckon if you had to buy a pack of them, they'd be a lot more expensive than buying a roll of sandpaper. A lot cheaper, but doing that and cutting your own and putting this stamp kit on, and then you're away. So what we're going to do next is we're going to give it a test. I'm going to get a bit of shitty 3x2 and we're going to give it a sand. Like I said, I'm not a bloody joiner, but it says that. But this is actually mine. This is a little orbital sander, which I've had for a bit. I can't remember why I bought it, but I think my dear wife bought it for me for one Christmas or birthday when I don't know, I do use it occasionally. So if you just come in a little bit, this is a small round orbital sander, and the serial number is DBO180. Oh, I better tell you the serial number of the other one. DBO381Z. That means it doesn't come with a battery. We'll take the battery off there, and I'll give it a little bit of a whirl on this one. So on this one, it's a lot smaller, and I've used this. I don't think this is up to much really, but anyway. it's okay, but I imagine that this one is going to be a hell of a lot better. Now then, we're in the workshop. So we've got the sander, my joiner friend sander. We're going to give it a whirl on this bit of 3B2. Bit rough a bit of 3B2. If you come in a little bit, you can see it's got the markings. What we're going to do is going to put a little bit of a pencil. Is quite hard to get rid of, so we're going to put a little bit of pencil on, and also we're going to put a little bit of Sharpie, a little bit of green Sharpie. Will it be able to get rid of it? Well, we're going to give it a go. So, as I said before, you can attach this to a vacuum, and if you just look at this, I haven't got one of them Bluetooth vacuums, but I've got my trusty 18-volt vacuum there. So I've had to botchitate it a little bit to get it to fit, but we're going to put that on like that, and off we go. So we'll get that going, and off we go. Oh, it stopped. What happened there, I think I pressed down on it too hard, and it's got a safety mechanism, so if you do force it too hardly, it's not broken, Ben, don't worry. Bloody hell fire, I don't want to be paying a bloody joiner 150 quid for this. Anyway, as you can see, it's done a pretty good job. Started off really rough there, and it's nearly got there. Pencil is a bastard to get off, and as is Sharpie. So I think it's done a pretty good job, and there was hardly any dust. Okay, we're going to give my little sander a bit of a go. This, if you come in a little bit, these are like Velcro attachments. So you don't have, what they do is just stick on like that. Again, it's got holes in it that lines up to the dust extract. I'm not going to connect that to the vacuum, can't be arsed. Anyway, so we're going to see if that's any good. Same again, we'll do a bit of a scribble with a bit of pencil and also a bit of Sharpie, and we'll see how this performs against this one. Okay, let's go. Actually, that is pretty good. The reason when I did the test with the other one, the timing was about the same. It got rid of the Sharpie and the pencil in about the same time. Obviously, it does a smaller area. So yeah, I'm stoked with both of these. Obviously, I'm going to give this one back to Ben, but that's if you're after a little sander, very light and handheld. That's pretty good too. So there we go. Honestly, I'm not a wood fucker, as you know. I'm a plumber, you know. Anyway, so this is not the kind of kit that I would use, but if I got it if I had to do some joinery, if I had to do it, or let's say, I don't know, if I had to be anyway, I could be a joiner, don't get me wrong, I could be a fucking joiner. How it's fucking piss easy. Anyway, so if I ever lost my job if I'm really desperate, I could go into joinery, but is it, you're asking me from a plumbing point of view, is it a good bit of kit? Yeah, it is. Like I said, I haven't done a long run of it because I can't be asked to be there all day doing it. But anyway, like I said, this was a fully charged battery, and I only ran it for a few minutes, and it's already down to 3 bars. You can see that. But I reckon, don't know. I don't know really how long it'd run for, but there we go. MAKITA 18-volt, brand new, pretty much straight out. It's just been sort of brought out within the last couple of months. Orbital sander. Okay, what do we say? Random is rad. Rock on. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, unsubscribe, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, tell me you love me, tell me you hate me, tell your friends and neighbours, tell that weird guy from across the street with the one-eyed dog, tell me anything, but most importantly, let's get in.